Credit card debt is nothing to play with, and it will quickly drive your net worth down deep into the red. Hey everyone, my name is Tierno. Welcome back to another episode of Middle Child Finance, and in today's video, we're gonna go over 7 important tips to credit cards. Kicking things off with number 1, credit cards are a double-edged sword. And like any other sword, it's very useful and has its pros. The first being that credit cards are notorious for their benefits through points for cashback or travel. For example, last year alone, I got $600 for simply using my credit cards on my everyday purchases. Some credit cards offer cashback bonuses for simply opening the card and using it in the first few months. I've seen this amount range from a couple hundred to even $1,000. Also, there's buyer's protections with a lot of credit cards today, so if you lose your credit card or a business tries to scam you, it's easier to recover those funds than if you were using a debit card. But with a double-edged sword, there is a bad side, which brings us to number 2. Credit cards are dangerous. This really should have been part of number 1, but I'm lazy and we're trying to hit the magic number 7. Now, a major downside to credit cards is the high interest rates. These tend to be up as high as 24%. Now, for reference, we make annually, on average, 8% from the stock market. So that means we are losing 3 times as much from interest on credit cards than we're earning from the stock market annually. This being the case, use your credit card as you would a debit card, meaning you only spend what you have and don't allow yourself to accrue interest. That means paying your credit card off in full before the closing date. The closing date on one of my credit cards is set for the 20th of each month. So I set a recurring reminder for the 18th of each month to pay off the full active balance, a full 2 days in advance. This is to avoid carrying a balance and accruing interest. Tip number 3, adjust your selection of credit cards to promote saving, not spending money. Personally, I don't like credit cards with annual fees. I don't want to feel obligated to use or maximize the value on my credit card knowing I have a fee every year. For example, it doesn't make sense to get a Platinum American Express card with a $700 annual fee if it's just going to influence me to spend more on travel than I normally would just to recoup on the annual fees. When selecting any credit card, I recommend looking at your spending from the previous calendar year to get an understanding of how much you would have saved or earned had you used that credit card instead. This helps you roughly determine how much value you'll gain from the credit card, and this is especially helpful if in case the credit card comes with annual fees, so you can determine if it's actually worth it. Tip number 4, you need to know that credit card companies make money when you spend money and when you hold a balance on your card. That's right, so don't do either of those things. I'm kidding, sort of. You're naturally gonna spend, and I recommend you use your credit card when you do, especially if you're gonna get some points or cash back in the process. Keep an eye on your spending because credit card companies spend millions each year to market and promote these cards to encourage you to spend more than you intended. On top of making a few percent on each transaction you make, which the merchant pays, they have the goal in mind that you'll carry a balance so that they can also make money charging you those insane interest rates that I mentioned earlier. They are plotting on the day that you forget to pay your full balance so they can subtly start charging you interest. Now, that brings me to my 5th point, the grace period. It's important to understand how the credit card billing cycle works. A credit card grace period is the time between the end of the billing cycle or closing date and your payment due date. This is usually around 21 to 25 days where interest does not accrue on your balance. If you pay your full balance off within this window, you won't owe any interest on your purchases. But if you carry a balance past your due date, interest will kick in and you'll lose your grace period for future purchases until you pay off the full balance. Some credit card issuers will wait until you've paid full balances for 2 consecutive months before reinstating the grace period, but you should double check with your bank to be safe. Tip number 6, credit cards can help boost up your credit score. Having some credit cards and using them properly demonstrates good credit worthiness and helps boost up your credit score. Credit bureaus want to see that you have a few open lines of credit and are managing them well. An important factor in your credit score is your credit utilization, which is the total amount of credit you've used for a month, which is your statement balance, over the total amount of credit extended to you for that given month. They want to see this number low. We're talking less than 10% because it tells them that you're not relying on a lot of borrowed money. The solution here is paying off your active balance each month so that at the end of the billing cycle, your balance is $0. If you continue to do this and keep your credit utilization down to 0%, you're golden. Now, I will say I'm not super pressed on credit scores because I'm anti-debt, but when it comes to mortgages, it will help you secure a lower rate, which can help you save thousands in the home buying process. Last but not least, tip number 7. If you have existing credit card debt, go check out my video on how to get out of debt fast, where I'll guide you on the smartest and fastest way to get out of debt. Credit card debt is nothing to play with, and it will quickly drive your net worth down deep into the red. If you're interested in knowing which credit cards offer better benefits for you, let me know in the comments. I'm thinking about making YouTube shorts that are going to quickly highlight some of my favorite credit cards and their benefits. But until then, spend less than you make, invest the surplus, and avoid debt. Peace.